Look closely at this neural network. See that creeping shadow? That represents a quiet crisis happening right now in our community. We call it slipping into darkness, a slow internal erosion of brain health that destroys lives from the inside out. For generations, cultural stigma has forced people to hide the early signs of cognitive decline or mental distress. We are taught to stay quiet, to protect our privacy, and to manage our struggles strictly behind closed doors. But that silence creates a dangerous cycle. When people avoid seeking help, they miss out on vital treatment. Collectively, that absence creates a massive blind spot in medical science. Researchers cannot study demographic-specific risks if the data simply does not exist. When clinical research lacks representative data, the resulting treatments and diagnostic tools often fail the very people who need them most. This silence leaves our community invisible to the scientists developing the cures of tomorrow. To understand what this looks like in reality, we have to look at Priscilla Agnew-Hines. After the tragic passing of her son, Larry E. Agnew, Priscilla faced an unimaginable loss, a loss that put a deeply human face on those abstract statistics. Instead of retreating into grief, Priscilla made a difficult and highly unusual decision. She defied deep-rooted cultural stigmas by donating Larry's brain to scientific research. Her choice was driven by a single powerful philosophy: evolve to solve. Priscilla realized that for future generations to survive and thrive, the community has to actively involve itself in medical science. This donation exposed a void in the medical record. It proved that without active participation from the community, researchers are essentially working in the dark. That urgent need for representation is exactly why the African American Neuroscience Research Initiative, or ANRI, teamed up with the Black Men's Brain Health Initiative. Together, they are building the institutional framework to fill the void Priscilla identified. This animated map shows their core mandate in action. By connecting these isolated data points, the initiatives gather localized, representative brain health data. They are finally mapping the demographic zones that mainstream science has historically left blank. But gathering data isn't enough. As you can see with these downward streams of light, high-level clinical science must translate back into actionable knowledge. This is the exact role of Healthy 2 Connections, acting as a bridge between the laboratory and the living room. Raw statistics sitting on a server do not save lives. They require a cultural translator to take those insights and deliver them directly to the people who need them most. The primary goal here is to shatter the narrow idea that brain health is strictly a medical term. Take panelist Ivor Williams, for example. As a vice president focusing on mental health in the workforce, he explores how high-pressure corporate environments and toxic workplace dynamics actively degrade our cognitive well-being every single day. Then there's Henrietta Hadley. She addresses a severe, often overlooked correlation: the long-term brain trauma caused by domestic violence, asking a critical question: "Girl, are you slipping into darkness?" And anchoring these everyday social realities in hard science is Dr. Deborah Stroman, bringing cutting-edge neurological insights from the Black Men's Brain Health Initiative to the table. These layers show that cognitive wellness is a reflection of our whole lives, from the safety of our homes to the demands of our careers. A conversation this critical requires a massive platform. This overhead view shows why the 31st Annual Black Women's Expo is the perfect venue. For 3 decades, this expo has been the central space where generations gather for community connection. Now, as you see the engaged attendees at these panels, it serves as the ultimate staging ground for a movement about collective health. Treating health as a segregated, sterile issue simply fails to reach people. To drive real awareness, life-saving science must be integrated into the heart of our cultural celebrations. Here is where that convergence happens. The expo takes place at McCormick Place, Hall C, in Chicago, running from July 31st through August 2nd, 2026. Mark your calendars for Saturday, August 1st. Find the Healthy 2 Connections team at booth 617 for the panel hosted by Victor Love. Showing up to this panel is how we honor Larry E. Agnew's legacy. It is a physical step out of the darkness and into a shared space of knowledge and healing. Evolving to solve requires action, and being present protects our future. Join the conversation online using hashtags like the Black Women's Expo, We Connect, and BWE 2026. We'll see you there.